fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit a buy, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over our Fanduel and Draftkings NBA slate for Wednesday, February 12th. Second to last slate before the All-Star break. It's a massive 11-game slate. Kind of ugly, if I'm being honest right now, looking through it. But we're going to go over it. Obviously, with an 11-game slate, we'll do like our top 4 or 5 at each position early in the morning here. A lot of things can change throughout the day, so you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor for all the news, injuries, rest, bingo nights, you know, whatever the hell it is these guys do on their off nights. You can follow me there. But first things first, thank you. Cheers to you all. Grab a coffee and Bailey's. That's what we're drinking this morning. Hope you enjoy the show. I really do appreciate all of your support. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Get access to all of our content. Fantasy Draft NBA is out. XFL will be out later today or tomorrow. Every NBA slate. During the All-Star break, we will have the Window Liquor Awards show. Those questions on Twitter where you guys get to choose the winner of each category. We'll start filtering out here in the next couple of days. We'll have 2 or 3 nominees per day and voting. And then we'll have our second annual Window Liquor Awards show. So lots of that stuff. So hit subscribe if you're so inclined to do so. I appreciate that. Also, by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment in the comment section, you qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway that is sponsored by Draft Dashboard. Draft Dashboard is where we're going over all the stats, usage, projections, hit percentage. You can set exposures for the mass lineup generator, the lineup optimizer, etc. You can get access to all the research, the tools for every sport, as well as my player pool simply by clicking that link in the video description below. You can try it for 30 days for $1. It's important that you use that link if you want my player pool that you can use, etc. XFL tool should be up, etc. And also, like big slates tonight, I'm going to be playing a lot of overlay DFS. It's a head-to-head thing where you pick one player over the other. You go for the best record, and you can win jackpots, etc. It's a ton of fun. Go to overlaydfs.com if you're an Android user. You can download the app there, or it's on the Apple iTunes Store. It's a smaller site right now. I think it's a fun sweat. I've been having a ton of fun with it. I mentioned the deposit bonus yesterday. I do want to make sure that I specify it is important when you deposit that you message them you DM them on Twitter at overlaydfs, or you need to email them at Eric Alvarez at overlaydfs.com. You can ask me more questions about that. I'll be happy to sort you out. So that's a lot of fun there. So let's get into it. Top 5 at each position. I got to get my son to school in a few minutes. I'm trying to shove all this in early in the morning. Title of the sex tape before we get on to tomorrow. I'm trying to remember who the window liquor for me last night. Well, I had a pretty good night, but someone really pissed me off. I'm getting old and I forget things. Hopefully it'll come to me during... Oh, Damian Lillard. It's right there in front of my face. You, Damian Lillard, can window liquor and a smoking matchup. Oh, God, what a window liquor. Anyways, I digress. So let's start at the top. Trae Young, 10-1 on Fanduel, 10-4 on Draftkings. Cleveland allows the most fantasy points in the league to opposing point guards. Put up a 61 his last time out against Cleveland. I do like Trae Young. Luka Doncic is back tonight for Dallas, it appears. We'll have to see what kind of minutes limit he's on, etc. So I'm not quite ready to go to the Luka Doncic train just yet. Next, another great matchup, Kyle Lowry. 7-3 on FanDuel, 7-9 on DraftKings. Brooklyn allowing the 4th most fantasy points in the league to opposing point guards. A 46 and a 38 in his last 2 against Brooklyn. Could be without Serge Ibaka again tonight. We'll have to see what's happening there. Again, you can follow me on Twitter. There's going to be lots of news. These 11-game slates are basically just pure misery for me. Just so much information, blah, blah, blah. Too much time in front of the computer all day, but that's how it goes. Bring on that all-star break, but I do like Kyle Lowry. Next, they've already ruled out Giannis for today, So it's very simple. Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, Brooke Lopez, all of them are in play. Bledsoe 6-7 on Fanduel, simply too cheap. 7-7 on DraftKings. The Pacers are 12th against opposing point guards. You could see that game, the last game without Giannis. Bledsoe put up a 51. Both Giannis and Middleton put up over 50. Could easily happen again tonight. I do like Chris Middleton a lot, and I do like John Morant as well at 6-7, sitting there in that price range. Next, kind of mid-tier, Colin Sexton. I think his price has finally dropped to where I'm comfortable playing him again. 5-8 on FanDuel, 6-2 on DraftKings. Atlanta 24th against opposing point guards. A 38, a 31, and a 31 in his last 3 against Atlanta. A paced-up game against Atlanta. I like Colin Sexton a lot, and I do think Terry Rozier. Watch out for Terry Rozier. His price is pretty fucking cheap right now, and he's got some 40-point upside at 5-8 and 6-1. Minnesota 21st against opposing point guards. And for some value, I do like Shabazz Napier. Now, it is a back-to-back for Washington, but he only played 19 minutes yesterday, meaning he could see a few more minutes today. He's 4-3 on FanDuel, 4-1 on DraftKings. The Knicks are 19th against opposing point guards. Put up a 24 his last time out against the Knicks. That was while he was with the Timberwolves, of course. But Shabazz Napier, some upside, low price, back-to-back. I think I could go there as well. And one other guy I want to mention on FanDuel to keep an eye on who has been absolutely dreadful his last few games, Kendrick Nunn sitting down here at 4,100. Rookies, young players like him are going to be inconsistent. They're going to have these little stretches where they play poorly, but we also know he's got that big upside, so that's an interesting tournament play down at 4-1 for me there. Maybe not so much at 5-1 on DraftKings. Let's go to shooting guards. For me, the top guy at the top, I like Devin Booker. 8-1 on FanDuel, 8-4 on DraftKings. Golden State allowing the 4th most fantasy points in the league to opposing shooting guards. Could be without DeAndre Ayton again. Now, the last game without Ayton, he absolutely shit the bed. Thank you, Devin Booker. But I think he bounces back tonight. In his last 3 games against Golden State, a 64, a 43, and a 42. I like Devin Booker against a bad Golden State defense tonight. Next, Chris Middleton, of course, without Giannis. He's got 60-point upside. Now, the Pacers are 2nd in the league against opposing shooting guards. Pretty good. But 50-point upside, 7-2 on FanDuel, 8-8 on DraftKings is pushing it. It really is pushing it. His last couple games, a 41 and a 28 against the Pacers. But again, no Giannis, meaning a much higher usage rate for Chris Middleton. Next, Devontae Graham, 6-8 on FanDuel, 7-4 on DraftKings. Minnesota 21st against opposing shooting guards. It's a big-time paced-up game for Charlotte. Minnesota, one of the faster teams, while Charlotte's one of the slower teams. So there's going to be, extra usage, extra possessions, etc. He's been on a roll the last few games. His last 2 games, a 48 and a 47. I think Devontae Graham is too cheap. Same with Fred VanVleet. He's pretty cheap here on FanDuel at 6-7. 7-6 on DraftKings. Again, Brooklyn struggles against point guards and shooting guards. He has a 52 and a 37 in his last 2 games against Brooklyn. Donovan Mitchell starting to come down in price. 6-7 on FanDuel, 7-3 on DraftKings. 4 straight games in the 30s against Miami. So I don't hate the Donovan Mitchell play either. Coming down here for some value, guys. Malik Beasley, 4-9 on FanDuel, 4-7 on DraftKings, the new starting shooting guard for Minnesota. Charlotte, 17th against opposing shooting guards. In his first 2 games with Minnesota as their starting shooting guard, a 43 and a 22. I think Malik Beasley's in a nice spot, like his value. A couple other value guys who could go off tonight. If Derrick Rose remains out, Reggie Jackson, etc., you could have Bruce Brown. I think Malik Monk is a consistent, now he's getting that consistent 25 to 30 minutes off the bench. He's got 30-point upside, 5 straight games in the mid-20s to upper 20s against a Minnesota defense that struggles against shooting guards. I could certainly go to Malik Monk for some value. And way down here for Golden State, you got Jordan Poole. Kai Bauman sucks. Now, he could hit value tonight, but Jordan Poole, now that D'Angelo Russell's gone, is playing the minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, and he's scoring in the 20s or 30s in his last 3 games, a 30, a 28, and a 22. Phoenix is 28th against opposing shooting guards. He's 4-1 on FanDuel, 3-9 on DraftKings. I think there's some value there as well. Lots of options, man. 11-game slates are kind of brutal. They just are. It's just too many games, in my opinion. I just don't like 11-game slates all that much. At small forward, LeBron against Denver, 10K on FanDuel, 10-6 on DraftKings. It's in Denver. Not my favorite play, honestly. I will have some tournament exposure, of course, to LeBron. But I like Pascal Siakam against Brooklyn. 8-4 on FanDuel, 8-7 on DraftKings. Possibly no Serge Ibaka. That last game without Ibaka, he put up a 55. Marc Gasol has already been ruled out. We know Anunoby went absolutely ham. So have fun. You guys can all play OG Anunoby again, and he will shit the bed on you. And I will be laughing the entire time because I won't be playing him. But Brooklyn is 4th against opposing small forwards. We know the upside for Siakam. His last 3 games against Brooklyn, a 47, a 66, and a 37. Sign me up for some Pascal Siakam. Don't give up on Kelly Oubre just yet. He was on the bench because he missed a team bus to the stadium, so they benched him. He should go back in the starting lineup, be a little inspired against a bad Golden State defense. I don't hate the Kelly Oubre play in tournaments, and I bet you he's very, very, very low owned. Right here in the mid-tier, Jay Crowder, 5-3 on FanDuel, 5-1 on DraftKings. Utah 5th against small forwards. We know that Jay Crowder used to play for Utah, a little bit of a revenge narrative there. Also, he's playing big minutes and putting up big numbers with his new role as a starting power forward in Miami. In his first 2 games with Miami, a 44 and a 40. He's sitting there at 5K, a 28 in 2 of his last 3 against Utah. I like Jay Crowder a lot at that price, right in that Miles Bridges range. I like Miles Bridges there as well. Michael Bridges, 4-8 on FanDuel, 5-3 on DraftKings. The minutes are just there. Golden State, 20th against opposing small forwards. Big time upside. Of his last 5 games, he's got 3 games of 34 or more. He's also got a 16 and a 26, but if he's getting you 35 at 4-8 and 5-3, you will take that every day of the week. Big time minutes there for him. Kyle Anderson, 4-7 on FanDuel, 4-5 on DraftKings. He's back into the starting role for Memphis. Portland 13th against opposing small forwards. His last time out, he put up a 39 against Portland, and the minutes are back around 30, and the price is right, especially on DraftKings at 4-5. You could sign me up for that. And you've got guys who are playing minutes here in these 4-4 range. You know, you got Porter, Ariza, DeAndre Hunter. All of them are playing the minutes. I also like Juan Hernan-Gomez playing 25, 26, 30 minutes a game for Minnesota now, starting at small forward or power forward, however you want to call it. 3-9 on both sides. Charlotte 17th against opposing small forwards. He does have one big game against Charlotte when he got some minutes with Denver. He put up a 39 as well. I do like Hernan-Gomez tonight. I like his new role there with Minnesota. Let's go to power forwards. At power forward at the top, Julius Randle against Washington. Washington 19th against opposing power forwards. It's a back-to-back for Washington. In his last 4 games against Washington, a 59, a 36, a 50, and a 56. Coming off a big 61-point game where he played 46 minutes his last time out. Love Julius Randle. Paced-up game for the Knicks against Washington. Bad interior defense. Sign me up for some Julius Randle. Next, a little bit tougher team on the interior, but Bam Adebayo, 8-3 on FanDuel, 7-8 on DraftKings. Utah 16th against centers. That's what Bam is actually playing. FanDuel insists on making him a power forward because they have their head up their ass most of the time, especially when it comes to NBA. His last time out against Utah, he put up a 58, just becoming a consistent great player, defending on the perimeter, shooting the threes. Bam is an absolute beast. I like Bam tonight against Utah. I do think Sabonis' price with no Giannis there is very reasonable on FanDuel at 8-1. The 9-8 price on DraftKings can absolutely fuck off. There's zero chance I paid $10K for Domantas Sabonis. But 8-1 on FanDuel, I could certainly go there. Next, for me, way down here, I like PJ Washington, 4-9 on FanDuel, 4-4 on DraftKings, back in the starting lineup for Charlotte, and he's playing 35 minutes. He's got 40-point upside. He's 4-9 and 4-4. Minnesota 24th against opposing power forwards. Put up a 25 his last time out against Minnesota. Too cheap for PJ Washington. Some guys to keep an eye on due to the injuries. If Serge Ibaka misses again tonight, they went with Rondae Hollis-Jefferson over Chris Boucher, or Boucher, whatever the hell you want to call him. He played 33 minutes and put up a 39. So if indeed Ibaka is out, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson is your guy. And for Phoenix, if DeAndre Ayton misses, with all the injuries, no Saric, no Aaron Baines, probably no Frank Kaminsky, Cheick Diallo is going to play a shit ton of minutes. Golden State 12 against power forwards. 3-7 on FanDuel is too cheap. Now, they have him at 5K on DraftKings. It's like, come on, DraftKings. Are you fucking kidding me? Obviously, if DeAndre Ayton's there, you don't want any part of that. But at 3-7 on FanDuel, you could sign me up. He's got some upside. Put up a 25 and 39 minutes his last time out with DeAndre Ayton out. Let's go to centers. At center, at the top, Karl Anthony Towns. Charlotte allows the most fantasy points in the league to opposing centers. He's 10-3 on Fanduel, 10-5 on Draftkings. Look at his last 3 games against Charlotte. 76, 54, and an 83. Yep, we will take that. Next, Andre Drummond with Cleveland against Atlanta. He tears up Atlanta. His last 5 against Atlanta, 53, 70, 49, 49, and 56. Atlanta 23rd against opposing centers. Andre Drummond should have absolutely no problem today with that Atlanta defense. Right below that, Nikolai Vucevic against Drummond's former team in Detroit. Without Detroit, they are going to be worse against centers. They're already 20th in the league against opposing centers. Vooch has been hitting his stride, 47, 51, and 51 in his last 3 games overall. 9-4 on FanDuel, 9K on DraftKings. I like some Nikolai Vucevic tonight as well. And, of course, next, Brook Lopez, 5-6 on FanDuel, 5-8 on DraftKings. The Pacers are 25th against opposing centers. No Giannis, meaning more touches and usage for Brook Lopez. And more importantly, this is a matchup he absolutely feasts on. In his last 5 against the Pacers, only 1 game lower than 34. He has a 36, a 28, a 34, a 43, and a 36. I like Brook Lopez a lot tonight. If you're looking for a value guy, a guy like Thon Maker at 4-7 and 4-8, I think fits the bill. He's going to play, 25 to 30 minutes for Detroit against Orlando. It is a tough team defensively. Mo Wagner on a back-to-back's a little risky, but at 4K and 4.5, I could take a shot there. And sometimes when I'm making 100, 150 lineups with Marcus Morris out of town, etc., I'll throw Bobby Portis in there. He'll get it. Sometimes in 20 minutes, Bobby Portis can just go absolutely ham. So one of these days, that will happen. So that's our look at each position. Again, you can get access to this tool, the research, the stats, mass lineup generator, lineup optimizer, and my player pool for every sport, hockey, baseball, football, and of course NBA, by clicking that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. When you do, how you find my player pool to compare them to your player pool, etc., you simply click on your Watched Players tab. You'll see a blue box at the top that says Watch DFS Bachelor's Picks. You click that box, it'll show the players that I'm watching at the moment, as well as a timestamp in Eastern time when I last updated it, so you know if I've gotten to the most recent news, etc. Of course, my player pool will be expanding throughout the day, so that's certainly something to keep an eye on. The cheat sheets, etc., projections, etc., all that will be fluctuating throughout the day. Then you can use it in a lineup optimizer. We'll just make a quick sample lineup on each site. Nothing locked or etched in stone just yet, but for right now, we got Shabazz Napier, Kyle Lowry, Middleton, Monk, Bridges, Anderson, Sabonis, Randall, Karl Anthony Towns. I think that's really solid for right now on FanDuel at 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's go over to DraftKings. Gave us Graham, Mitchell, Crowder, Hollis Jefferson, assuming Ibaka's out, PJ Washington, Kyle Lowry, Thon Maker, Devin Booker. That's not bad either. Again, I'm going to have a ton of Karl Anthony Towns. Again, click the link, try it for 30 days for $1. Create your own lineups, your own player pools, compare them to mine, etc. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, be part of our weekly PayPal giveaway. We announce that winner every Monday morning. Don't forget to check out Overlay DFS, overlaydfs.com for Android users, Apple iTunes users in the Apple iTunes Store. Our Fantasy Draft NBA video is also out. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for your support. May the fantasy gods be with you tonight. Good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow for our final NBA slate before the All-Star break. XFL video will be out later tonight or tomorrow. Thank you all again so much. Goodbye, folks.